and months of preparation are now over. It is now time for the first rendition of Tenaha Holiday Hoops Today, presented by XL Ford in Carthage, the official Ford dealer of Holiday Hoops and the DP's Texas Ford dealer of the Antler Sports Network. Don, it has been a lot of conversating, a lot of text messages, a lot of phone calls, emails with coaches, media, players, workers, the whole nine yard. It's all come to fruition here today. How does it feel to finally get at least the setup monkey off your back?
Oh, I'm excited. This morning about 8 o'clock, I finally finished, and we're waiting now for the tip to start at 12:30 on Thursday. But it's kind of, cool to look back and know you started this about January 15th of last year. Got your teams that you wanted together, and then sided in on them about August when school started in case you had any to back out, which we had two. And again, this tournament has no problem replacing these teams. We have teams on standby that we believe could handle this tournament and how strong it is. And so it's been good knowing you had your teams definitely back in August, but the little things that you and I have been putting together, I'm glad the day is finally over, and we're just waiting until Thursday to tip off.
Now, let's start with the games that we will be having here in the SEC as well as on the Antler Sports Network. First game, 12:30 p.m. tip-off right here on ASN1. Myself and the coach, Matt Bright, will be on the call. Tenaha versus Neches to kick off what you guys have deemed Shelby County night. Tenaha Neches is a fantastic opening game in a girls bracket that is, of course, stacked just like the boys bracket is. How are you expecting that game to fall? What are you expecting to see, not only on the court, but just atmospheric-wise in the very first game of a big tournament on Shelby County night?
Well, this will be pretty neat that we have Neches coming in to kick off the tournament against the hometown Tenaha Lady Tigers. Neches has been to state I don't know how many times in a row. They've yet to pull out the big one. They played in the semis and then one or two finals. Just hadn't got over the hump there. And then you have Tenaha, who was loaded last year. They lost to Martin's Mill, who went on to win the state championship down in San Antonio. And many graduated. 5 out of the 7 players graduated from last year. So Tenaha's got a couple of seniors and the vast majority are freshmen. But they have started the year off with a let me check this record out. 14-4. That's very surprising with as many freshmen, and they played Crandall's 5 and 6A tournament. So it's hard to read. Neches went so far in volleyball to the state championships that it's very difficult to know. They've only played 9 games, where Tenaha's played 18. So it'll be a neat matchup. People will be trying to get there on a Thursday and coming in and eating. And we have 2 other sites that are kicking off at the same time over at Timpson. You've got the Rains girls playing at the hometown Timpson at the Timpson Collegiate Events Center. And then Martin's Mill, who is 17-0, will be tipping off against the Sabine Lady Cardinals in Tiger Gym. So those 3 games we'll kick off the tournament with starting Thursday, which is the day after Christmas.
Now, looking at this girls bracket, similar to our discussion a couple of weeks back when we previewed Bishop Gorman against Brownsboro and Tyler, you've seen a lot of film, and you were clear on some of the teams you thought, at least on the girls' side of things, that we'll focus on for now. Has any team, at least since you've last seen them, increased or decreased their stock more than the others in the girls' side of the bracket? Has any team increased their odds to leg this thing out?
I'll tell you the one that has just been winning, and I know that their head coach talked to me last week and said they had a player down, but it's the Tatum Lady Eagles. They that first day that I saw them at PK Gorman, they were not in basketball shape, but they're coming into this tournament at 11-4, and they started off the season like 2-4, and they're just kind of on a roll right now. I'd watch them because they're going to be playing Flatonia. Flatonia just got ranked today in TABC Hoops. I believe they're at 23 or 24 in the 2A poll, and Flatonia is 15-1, and they're out of Region 4, so a lot of people don't know about them. So watch that matchup there, and the other team that outside of Mars Mill, who's 17-0, watch the Kuntz ladies. They come in at 11-1 down by Beaumont. We don't hear a lot about them, but they play in the second game of the day on Thursday over in Tiger Gym against Douglas. So watch those two games of the day. I think they'll be the surprising bunch of girls coming in there. Either game, go watch them play.
Now, throughout our Antler Sports Network slate, we have multiple big games, including the Cisco Lady Lobos. We'll hear from Coach Kirkpatrick later in our Anytime Fitness Coaches Corner. They're really the outlier. I mean, they have the farthest distance to travel. They're pretty much in the middle of a state. What do you expect to see from them? They're on a charter bus, so they won't be on the Yellow Hound, thankfully. But do you think there's a bit of an underdog mentality? Of course, they're kind of the outlier, not really a geographical East Texas team. So do you think that gives them a bit of an edge in this tournament?
Oh, I think about who they've played. I mean, they're 13-2. They've only lost to Abilene Wiley and Jim Ned. Jim Ned's number 1 in 4A. And when I talked with him, he said, we don't really know anybody over there. We're excited. We have got film on everyone. We want to do well. This second team we're bringing from Region 2, in addition to the Lipan Lady Indians, who have been there 14 out of the past 15 years and won it on numerous occasions. So I think Cisco, for the first time to really travel and get out of that area of West Texas, basically, because that's about where West Texas begins, right around Eastland and Cisco. I think that they want to come do very well and show that they are deserving not only of a deep run in this tournament, but of their number 3 ranking in the state of Texas in 2A.
The Cisco Lady Lobos last year in the postseason made it to the regional round, falling to Nocona in a tough battle, 56-48 their score. I like how you brought up Lipan in that kind of regional clique out of the West Texas region. Lipan just outside of the DFW Metro. Do you think there are some cliques between teams? Maybe you have Tatum and Sabine, kind of the Gregg County / Upshur County clique. We have the Shelby County clique with St. Augustine, Timpson, Tenaha, etc. Does that kind of add a bit to the rivalry? Can you expect things to kind of get heated between regional bunches or pods, for lack of a better term?
Oh, I think the more you know teams, the more rivalry feeling you have as you go in and play someone. When Cisco walks in and their first game is Timpson, beforehand they wouldn't have known the mascot, the colors. They wouldn't feel the same way about a game as if Tenaha and Timpson actually played. But as they go through this tournament and they start seeing teams, they'll really be excited about being here. We'll see the best that Cisco can bring to this tournament. And, of course, guess what? They're in the Lipan. Lipan pulls off an upset over Hooks, Lady Hornets. Then it could be Lipan and Cisco playing. Well, they scrimmaged the first game of the year, so they know each other. They've played for the right to go to the state tournament. Lipan has beat them almost every time, but they feel like they have a team now that can say it's our turn to go down there. So I really feel like they feel that they can get to San Antonio with the team that they have.
All right, that's a look at the girls' bracket. Don, thanks for being with us. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll hear from Tatum Lady Eagle head coach Patricia Nelson. We'll hear from our friends at Kilgore College. A look at the bracket, the broadcast schedule, and much more. This is Holiday Hoops Today, the Thursday edition, day 1 of 3, presented by XL Ford in Carthage, official Ford dealer of the official DP's Texas Ford dealer, the Antler Sports Network, and Tenaha Holiday Hoops.
People say college isn't for everyone, but at Kilgore College, we disagree, because at Kilgore College, we help you find your personal path to success. Here you'll find not only a meaningful career, but one with a great living wage. And at Kilgore College, you can get exceptional training in an exciting and in-demand career, a career that you'll love, taking you from little to no experience to being highly skilled and job market ready. At Kilgore College, we have the training, certification, or degree that's right for you.
Welcome to the Coach's Preview in Tenaha Holiday Hoops, presented by Anytime Fitness in Carthage. With us via the XL Carthage Ford hotline is Tatum girls head coach Patricia Nelson. Coach, it's been a while since we had a discussion. Last time we talked was earlier this fall, as your Lady Eagles are taking place in the Macy Schinover Memorial Tournament in Tyler. And I remember vividly the main talking point that you had when we previewed your team was the fact that everyone was just coming together truly for the first time after a deep volleyball run. Up to now, up to this weekend's event, how has your team's chemistry been since that tourney?
It's kind of been up and down. We went to Salado, to Waco, and played in the tournament there, and we won some games, and we lost some. Just kind of the injury bug kind of hit us all at the same time while being there. And we started district this past 2 weeks, and we're undefeated so far in district, and just trying to work everybody in to, again, get that chemistry that we had last year. And it's like I said, we've had some ups and downs, but I think it's coming together.
How was that Macy Schinover tournament in terms of not only you guys getting better on the court, going against stiff competition in the later rounds, but even off the court? It builds your character, and we talk about character all the time. And you're not going to win every game, but how you handle the situation is important to me, and that's what I've been trying to teach the girls, that you're going to go through adversity, and that's what we've been going through this first part of the year. But we know that we just rely on God, and I tell them that those are God moments, some but God moments is what we call them. And just when things don't go your way, you got to be able to pray your way through. And so that's what we've been doing, just praying our way through and looking for bigger and better things to happen for us. You have one of the best pick-and-roll tandems, at least I believe, in this field, in both Bradley and Scott at the guard spot and forward spots, respectively. How have you enjoyed coaching those two, watching them blossom and get better, going game by game and now season by season?
Oh, my God, they're amazing. First of all, they're great kids, and they're smart, so that makes it even better. When you can tell them this is how I want it done, and they do it, sometimes like a robot. We like to tell them sometimes, just rely on your eyes. What do you see? If it's not exactly the way I see it, I need you to learn to improvise. And so it's been a joy. Cammie Jo the other night scored 1,000 points, so we celebrated her on Friday. And so we've just been enjoying each other. And I have a bunch of seniors, and Cammie is the only junior that's starting now, and so they like each other. So it makes it easy to coach kids when they like each other. And sometimes as girls, we don't do that. We don't celebrate each other. But those two young ladies are amazing.
Now, Coach, let's talk Lady Bulldogs. In your first round matchup in Timpson, you have the number 23 ranked Flatonia Lady Bulldogs. What have you seen from them on film? What are you expecting, and how do you plan on countering one of the better teams in the state?
Great question. Hopefully we can make some layups and free throws. I watched them. I don't know, the kids' names but number 2 and number 25 are definitely great ball players. Their whole team plays well together. And they're going to press us. They're going to play tough man-to-man. And to me, that's what all 1A, 2A schools that maybe don't play volleyball, I honestly think they have an advantage, because you go from starting school, getting ready, and you're already at the point where everybody else is trying to get to. So I think it's going to be an amazing tournament. Every game, you're going to play against somebody that's either ranked or something like that. So, because everybody in the community in our little neighborhood, they either had a go-kart or a moped. So one year we got a go-kart, and the next year we got a moped. So it was amazing. We had, my sister and I, we had an amazing childhood, and our parents made sure we had those nice things. And I just praise God for them.
Do you still have that go-kart? Do you know where it is? What's happened to it?
I don't know where it is. We let one of my cousins down the street have it, and so I have no idea where it is.
That's always the cousins, isn't it?
Yes, always the cousins.
Well, Coach, as always, an absolute pleasure to speak with you. Best of luck on this tournament. Thanks for giving us the time to chat. And more importantly, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Hopefully you can come back with a trophy.
To you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford crew.
Maverick, Ranger.
Another truckload of trucks?
Big event needs a big selection. Right, like the Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. Gas, hybrid, electric, and big selection means great deals. Exactly, which means it's the best time to buy. Well said, Sam.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months, plus no payments for up to 90 days and $1,000 bonus cash on a new F-150.
Welcome back to Holiday Hoops today, presented by Exil Ford in Carthage. Happy to be back with you as we get ready for tip-off for arguably the biggest, if I think the biggest and the best holiday tournament in the state of Texas. Your opinion may differ. One person who may share that opinion, though, without a doubt, is the guy that pretty much runs the joint in terms of this tourney. Don, happy to have you back with us. We already previewed the girls, now let's preview the boys. First broadcast we'll have on the Antler Sports Network slate be here in the SEC. First round matchup at 5:15. Myself and Coach Matt Bright will be on the call. It's Timpson versus Tatum. Now, Coach, I don't know about you in terms of film and what we've seen from both ball clubs, and to let me know if you agree or disagree. I feel like Timpson might have the most to prove in this game, especially against a surging Tatum team that's making a push for one of the best teams in the state.
Yeah, Timpson's been up and down to start the year. They lost a lot of kids, and it takes a while to establish chemistry with newcomers that were just set on JV probably for 2 years or more, simply because what Timpson had, in their junior and senior classes the last 2 years, they were really good. And so now they're having to figure out what are the Timpson Bears going to end up when the season's all said and done. What will they have accomplished? And I think the Holiday Hoops will kind of tell them where they're at today, because it's so strong. And of course, right off the bat, they start with the Tatum Eagles, and Tatum has just come out of the gates in December. Wow, they're really playing well. Between Tatum and Kuntz, Marge Mill, Shelbyville, Ipan, Mount Pleasant, Chapel Hill, there's going to be some good teams getting beat in this tournament who normally could win most tournaments they go into. But all these good teams, the 1, 2, 3, and 2A in the state are here. The 1, 2, and 3A are here. The 8 team in 3A is here. So when you have that type of competition, it's hard to say who's going to come out. But that 5:15 game, you'll get to see what Tatum has by coming out. And it's just the first of basically Shelby County night. All the locals, Timpson and Shelbyville and Tenaha, and then our counterparts to the county, St. Augustine, will be there. It'll be a crowd. If the weather doesn't push us a little bit there, it will be a packed house. So I'm excited about the first day.
Now, I'm glad you brought up the St. Augustine Wolves. That game, their first game on the ASM family platform was right after the Timpson Tatum game. Right after. I mean, talk about 75,000 for the price of one. I mean, it's just too many fantastic games. 6:45 on KBMM. Kevin Boyer, Mike McCary will be on the call. The Tenaha Tigers taking on the St. Augustine Wolves in the SEC. It's already a heated game. It's already going to be an important game, a great measuring stick for both ball clubs. I think it's probably going to be the most heated and the best atmosphere, at least house-wise in terms of butts and seats, of this opening day slate. Tenaha's a fantastic team, as we stated, in this first-round matchup, coming in at 14-4. St. Augustine at 7-3. Winner takes on either Sabine or Coombs. Either way, that Tenaha-St. Augustine matchup is going to be a good one. Do you think it might be the loudest and most raucous we'll see the SEC maybe of the entire tournament?
I think that that game, along with the one right after the Cheville Dragons rolling in there, Cheville's known to bring a crowd. So when you have that game right before it, it's just as loud. It just really helps the next game. It'll feel like 3 hours of really great entertainment. I know that you hope they listen to you, and they will, and they'll watch you on live stream. But we'd love to have them, in the SEC that night to help pack, put 1,200 people in there to watch these two games. It just will be fantastic. You don't get an opportunity hardly ever to bring a group of Shelby County schools and St. Augustine in together to have this type of atmosphere where you're not playing each other. So, it'll be neat to watch all this going on.
And then the nightcap. In terms of rank, in terms of pound for pound, this is about as close to Ali versus Tyson as we'll see. The last game of the night, 8:15 on KBMM, first round matchup. I'll say that again. First round matchup between number 3 in 2A Shelbyville taking on number 4 in 1A Brooklyn. Wow. I feel like I'm partially getting robbed, and I feel like some fans might too, that we're getting that in the first round. That is a championship heavyweight level fight.
Well, that's what happens when you bring this many quality teams together. You no longer get an easy game for the first two games and then go into your semis and it start getting tougher. All across this whole 32-team girl and boy brackets, they are tough first-round games going on. And every day that you show up, you're going to see ranked teams play. I don't care where you go in the tournament format, but especially at the SEC, because the more you win, the more you're in the SEC. And that's where the best teams are going to be trying to get to every day.
Now, one game I want to kind of highlight, even though it's in Timpson, it'll be Martins Mill versus Cisco. Thursday, 6:45 in the home of the Bears. If anyone is going to take down this Lipan team that I believe that many think are a heavy favorite, Lipan, the Indians, sitting at number 2 in 2A via the recent TABC rankings, going against a Frankston team that not only went to overtime with the previously aforementioned Brooklyn Wildcats, that score 95-92 in second overtime, they put up 75 or more points multiple times. I mean, just going by the list. We already brought up the NBA score against Brooklyn. That's 92 points. Against Lateo, they almost put up 75. They put up 73. Against Gladewater, this is just borderline basketball. This is double dribble levels of scoring. 103-45. Put up 75 against Quitman, 75 against Huntington, 76 against Winona, 87 against Wootton, 78 against Wills Point. A very high scoring and potent Frankston team going against Lipan in the first round. I don't know about you, but I feel like that could be a very good measuring stick in Tiger Gym for really both of these teams.
Oh, I do too. It's a shame that we don't have more time in the day so we can put that game also in the SEC. Frankston is starting to play really well. And, of course, Lipan is 13-2, number 2 in the state. Again, a first-round matchup. These normally take place in the semifinals. Now you get to watch them in the first round. Just a tremendous game right there.
Now, also, I asked you this question during our girls preview, but let's ask you for the boys side of the bracket as well. Any teams that you see their stock rising, increasing their odds to take down this loaded field?
Oh, my goodness.
Good luck.
Yeah, good one.
Good luck.
Watch Mount Pleasant Chapel Hill. Their coach is excellent. Came over from Ponder and just very fundamental. Probably the best passing team in the entire group, and if they win their first one like 10, knocks off Frankston, which, will be a tough challenge to do. That morning game at 11 a.m. will be, in the SEC, will be a really good one. Watch that right there. Cheville, I would bet Martin Mill is worried a little bit about Cheville in the second round. Guess what? SEC, 12:30 Friday, if both of those teams can, win their first round game. I just buy a ticket, come on down, get a hotel room, and watch every game in that SEC. There are 22 games there. Just come watch it and enjoy it. And if you can't, jump on Antler Sports Network and catch it live stream with Jared and the bunch. You don't want to miss any of this.
Just looking at that Mount Pleasant Chapel Hill team, a team last year that finished, get this, 35-2, a perfect 12-0 in district, over 2,500 points in one season by one basketball team does not seem real. It seems like we're playing, I already mentioned it once, these are double dribble numbers being put up by some of these teams. That's those same Mount Pleasant Chapel Hill Devils falling last year in the regional semis, ironically, against Ponder. That final from Prosper ISD, 66-58. And one more team that I want to go ahead and highlight is, well, honestly, it's the home team. Coach D. Lewis and those Tenaha Tigers coming in at 14-4. Of course, as we mentioned, their opening round contest, 6:45 in the SEC. That game on ASN1 against St. Augustine to highlight Shelby County night. You have either Sabine and Kuntz coming up in that next round. If you're Tenaha, do you see an opportunity to possibly catch fire going into that second round? Because as you mentioned, the rest of the way, it's going to be tough. You have the winner of Thorndale and Mount Pleasant Chapel Hill on one hand and Lipan versus Frankston on the other.
Well, regardless of whether it be St. Augustine or Tenaha that wins, they get the great job of facing the number one team in 3A, the Coons Lions, under Coach Jubert, who's been there for years upon years, and he says this is maybe one of his best overall teams that he's ever had. He really feels great about it. Whoever meets them the next day in Timpson is going to really have a tough challenge. It's worth watching his kids play. They play, a zone half court press. They push the ball. They play about 8 or 9 deep. Great kids. They never say a word. They just talking to each other. Very well behaved. You will enjoy them. They have a good following. They'll have a good group of people that drive up from Kuntz because Kuntz has been coming to this tournament every year for the last 15 out of 16 years. So come on down and get to know all these teams. These teams have great coaches, and they have really good kids that are going to be there playing their hearts out to try to win the first place trophy of Holiday Hoops.
Now, ironically enough, those St. Kuntz Lions, fun fact, I believe are the one of, if not the only team in at least the boys field that has played a team outside of the state of Texas. The Kuntz Lions, back on the 29th of last month, falling to Franklin Parish. The Patriots out of Winsboro, not Texas, Winsboro, Louisiana. That was a tough game. And a Kuntz Lions ball club, Coach, you talked about their defense, but their offense is, they're unprecedented. They're scoring better than the Mavericks are, I can tell you that.
Well, they have two of the best guards anywhere in the state. Just excellent guards. And you talk about going over to Louisiana and playing the team. Anytime you go step across that state line, you're playing more than just the other five. Most Texas teams know that. And but they went over there and they were challenged. Their only loss of the season. So they're going to come in here after playing, 4 and 5A teams winning the Lipan tournament the first week of December. This team is really, really good. You need to come see them.
That Lipan tournament, they on the way to that championship defeated Keene, Childress, Glen Rose, and the host, the Lipan Indians. That final 74-37. And we talked about how dynamic Frankston's offense was. Coons probably blows out of the water, and that's saying something. Averaging 83 points a contest, put up 90 points on multiple different occasions and triple digits 3 times. Yep, 4 different times, excuse me. And their 2 opening district games against Hardin and Boone, respectively, 105 and 101 in the earlier portions of the season. Put up 93 against Kashmir, 100 against Hampshire Fannin. I mean, it's ridiculous. I wish my credit score was as high as his offense's point totals, but that's neither here nor there. The Coons Lions, the Tatum Eagles, the Timpson Bears, Tenaha Tigers, you said it perfectly, Don. Come and meet these teams. A lot of great basketball getting played. I am excited for what this, not even the entire tournament, but just this opening day has in store for all of us across the ASN.
Yeah, I just sit back and say, how did we do this? How did we put this together? That's why we start in January and get the good teams committed. They want to come here. All good teams want to come compete. They don't really matter what the season record is, because when you go against these teams, it doesn't hurt you. Lipan won 5th place in this tournament last year and then goes down to San Antonio and knocks Shelbyville off to win the state championship. Again, I've heard coaches say this. It's tougher to win holiday hoops sometimes than it is to get to a state championship game and win it. So if you're anywhere around, if you have nothing to do after Christmas, you don't want to have to eat leftovers, come down there and get some of the Tiger Cafe. You can't beat it. Fried shrimp, fried catfish, barbecue ribs, sausage. Just come down and enjoy talking basketball, watching basketball, and getting to know the teams across the state of Texas. We have teams from Region 2, Region 3, and Region 4 in classifications 1A, 2A, and 3A. These are going to be the best of those teams. So come down and visit with us. You pay one time to get in, and you can sit there and watch 8 games for the price of 1. You cannot beat this. So I can't wait to start. We're going to get Christmas over tomorrow, and then we'll be down there at 9:30 in the morning and get ready to go for the 12:30 kickoff on Thursday.
It's going to be fantastic, Don. Thanks so much for joining us. If you want to stay updated with schedules, brackets, scores, our live stat links, our broadcast links to watch the latest Holiday Hoops Today, which will be published at the late night of every single tournament day, you can find it all in one place. Our Holiday Hoops Hub, ASN website, online at antlersn.com/holiday hoops. That's Antler, the letter S, the letter N.com/holiday hoops. And if you're in town, be sure to stop by Holiday Inn Express and Center. That's where we'll be staying. We'll hope to see you all there as well. Don, thanks so much for joining us. It's going to be a good one. We're looking forward to it, to say the least, my friend. Shelbyville Dragons head coach Colton Wager is the next guy up on the docket for our Anytime Fitness Coaches Corner. Jared Jones, happy to be with you on the ASN family of platforms as we continue our trek to Championship Saturday for Tenaha Holiday Hoops. Coach, it's been a long road since the last time you were on the Antler Sports Network. Last year against your good buddy D. Lewis against the Tenaha Tigers, ironically, in the SEC at Tenaha High School. How was your coaching philosophy? How was the team? How was the season progressed? How has Shelbyville basketball improved since that game last year against Tenaha?
Well, we had some ups and downs last year after that game and really kind of put it together there down the stretch. And, we're fortunate enough to be able to make a deep playoff run and end up in the state championship game. Came up a little bit short. A very well-coached Lipan team. But, This year moving forward, we graduated 3 seniors, and Eli Ferguson, Dylan Parker, and Weston Frick. And, those 3 guys are really, really hard to replace. But, kind of got some younger guys that have stepped up this year, and also added a new face, Tanner Doggett, to the lineup, along with our 2 All-State guards, Jadavian Mathis and DJ Barnes back, also along with John Mathis. So, we're moving forward. We're 9-2 right now. Had a couple big wins in the Gary tournament this past weekend, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited about the future of this team.
I mean, you go from one tough tournament to, I think it's fair to say, the toughest tournament in the state, going against in the opening round, number 4 Brooklyn and Shelby County Knight in the opening round. I mean, sure, you're going against one of the top teams in the state. That's difficult enough. But do you think that the tournament gods, the basketball gods setting up the schedule, giving you a Shelby County Knight, I guess you could say a bit of a home court advantage in the opening round, does that play into your favor some?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we're playing against a really, really good Brooklyn team that ended up last year in the regional finals, and they're well coached and have 8 or 9 guys deep that are going to be a tough matchup for us. But nevertheless, it should be a really fun night. It should be a packed house there in the SEC, and we'll see what happens.
Now, Coach, you go from number 4 Brooklyn, and you'll either have to take on a Cisco team that's currently surging, or, well, not a much easier opponent to say the least. Just a top-ranked team in 2A in Martins Mill. This tournament is pretty much as tough as you're going to get, but you also have a tough district slate as well. How does this event prepare you as a staff and as a ball club for one of the tougher districts in all of 2A?
Well, I think this is the toughest small school tournament in the state of Texas, and definitely with our region. Region 3 and 2A is by far the best region in high school basketball. I think it prepares us for down the stretch for some of those playoff games. Last year playing Timpson to a 3-point game, playing Beckville to a 2-point game in the playoffs. Teams like La Pointer and Douglas. All those teams down the stretch. This tournament really gets us ready to see those opponents.
Now, just talking about that Region 3, just going from district to district. Of course, in District 19, you have Martinsville and Frankston, 2 teams that are in this very same tournament. You have Grapeland in District 20, surging Hawkins team in District 21, Beckville, Timpson, Garrison, Wascom alone in 23, and of course you guys in 24 with St. Augustine, Sereno, and Hemp Hill. Is there any team in district that you can really compare to, say, a Martins Mill or maybe a Cisco, one of your non-district opponents that you could see in this tournament?
Well, we just opened up district play with Sereno this past Friday, and they're a really solid bunch. We ended up coming out on top by 8. But they're long. They have athleticism. They have 6'5", 6'8" inside, and so they're a tough district opponent for us, as well as the St. Augustine Wolves that we could possibly see in this tournament, and we'll see here in the coming weeks in district play. So a lot of teams that are similar to what we're going to see in district, and so I'm really looking forward to getting us ready for district play.
Now, finally, Coach, to round out Coach's Corner with you, let's talk Christmas, shall we? Christmas is already past, but I don't know about you. I'm still in the festive spirit. What is your favorite Christmas song and why? If Coach Colt was going door to door singing Christmas songs across the neighborhood, what would be the first song you'd pick?
Man, I think I've got to go with the old school Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You're not going to find a more catchy tune, to really get me in the Christmas spirit.
Did you always believe in Santa as a kid? When did you first realize, or even if you might still believe in him now, but if you don't believe in him anymore, when was that time where you thought, you know what, maybe this guy might not be real?
Man, I'm still a firm believer in Santa Claus to this day.
What do you want for Santa? What are you hoping Santa left you under the tree this year?
Man, I know it's a long way off, but I hope Santa brings us a district title this year is what I'm really, really hoping.
How about that? Classic answer, Coach. Thank you for taking time out to speak with us, and most of all, best of luck in this tourney and happy holidays.
Appreciate you guys so much. Merry Christmas. Happy
We saw the calm before the storm, and we see it here today. The months, the weeks of anticipation are now over. It is official. We may not have any presents under the tree from the Antler Sports Network to you, but I feel like we have the second best thing. It's arguably the biggest tournament in all of Texas around the holiday season. It's Tenaha Holiday Hoops. It's the gold bracket for the girls division in the first round to kick things off for today. Game 1 of 23. It's the hosting Tenaha Tigers in an all-Tiger matchup taking on Neches. Jared Jones, the coach, Matt Bright, happy to be with you courtside in the Tenaha SEC Special Events Center. We've been talking about this for months, Coach. This tournament, how intense it's going to be, the level of competition, but now we finally get to see it. And this is your first time being in this gym. I've just sent you pictures and videos, but how does it feel to finally be in the real deal?
This gym is amazing. But just looking at the girls' side, Jared, you're looking at you've got 8 teams that's in the top 25.
It's ridiculous.
In the girls' side, you're looking at some possible state championship matchups.
You said this during when we were both off air. You said this is possibly more difficult than the state tournament.
Absolutely.
And just looking at pound for pound, every team on the boys and girls side, it's hard to disagree.
I mean, you can't disagree. I mean, you've got number 1 team in the state, Martinsville. You've got, in the boys and the girls. But
it's amazing.
The second round is going to be just as fun as the first round.
Wow. So, as Tenaha and Neches get ready to tip things off, Jared Jones, Matt Bright, happy to be with you. We're going to take a short timeout. When we come back, it's tip-off. Tenaha, Neches, Tenaha Holiday Hoops coming up after this.
If you're an Anytime Fitness member, you now get free access to Apple Fitness Plus. That means you get more. More sets, more reps. More warm-ups, more cool-downs. More Sam.
More movement.
More Jessica.
More balancing.
More Bakari.
More rolling. More rolling. More rolling.
They're not going to stop. With the thousands of workouts on Apple Fitness Plus, they're going to keep going for as much time as we.
Join Anytime Fitness and get access to Apple Fitness Plus on us.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford crew.
Maverick, Ranger.
Another truckload of trucks?
Big event needs big selection. Right, like the Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. Gas, hybrid, electric, and big selection means great deals. Exactly, which means it's the best time to buy. Well said, Sam.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months, plus no payments for up to 90 days and $1,000 bonus cash on a new F-150.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can guest how you guest. Enjoy free breakfast while you work or play. Take on Miami, Mexico City, Minneapolis, or any Holiday Inn Express destination you choose. Follow a great day with a better night's sleep, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. With Holiday Inn Express, part of IHG Hotels and Resorts, you can guest how you guest.
People say college isn't for everyone, but at Kilgore College, we disagree. Because at Kilgore College, we help you find your personal path to success. Here you'll find not only a meaningful career, but one with a great living wage. And at Kilgore College, you can get exceptional training in an exciting and in-demand career. A career that you'll love, taking you from little to no experience to being highly skilled and job market ready. At Kilgore College, we have the training, certification, or degree that's right for you.
tip-off. Both teams are ready to go. Tenaha, the hosting team, will get us going in our very first game of our coverage of Tenaha Holiday Hoops. Jared Jones, Matt Bright, happy to be with you courtside in the SEC. Neches, the designated visiting team. They are in the all-black tops and bottoms with green trim along with the jerseys and shorts. Neches in the Jordan country font and black outlined in white. Numerals in the styling of white and a thin outline of green. Tenaha, the hosting team with their home white tops and bottoms. The Tenaha secondary logo across the pant. Maroon and black trim on the jerseys and shorts as well. And we are set to go. Tenaha, if you're listening on ASN Radio, going from right to left, well, from left to right on your respective device. Under the basket, getting it down low is Lila Horton. Horton gets double, triple team. Gets it to Giles, who's got it for two. That's Kayla Giles to get things going, and that's the first 2 points for Tenaha. And that was a triple teaming opportunity for Neches on the backstretch, and it's stolen away now. And the open break is Angel Alexander. Alexander, leeway pass, and stepping back with it is Ariana Dagley, the junior guard. Skip to the outside corner. Open three for Giles again. Side iron, no good. Strong rebound is battled with Cox and Sealy Hines, respectively, for Neches. It's out of bounds. It's going to be Neches basketball. Neches starters, led by head coach Brian Braddock, out of 1A Region 3, District 24, is Jolie Jenkins, as well as Addison Spade, Aubrey Kincaid, Catherine Morgan, and Sealy Hines. Starters for Tenaha, Ariana Dagley with Giles and Cox, respectively. Angela Alexander down in the number 4, and Lily Horton, the senior forward, rounding the middle. Dribble handoff now. Center step looking at Morgan. At the top of the key driving is Kincaid. Kincaid, Land gets the roll, and it's in for two.
Both teams looking to run early.
It's going to be interesting to see who controls the pace more. What team is going to be more liable to speed up the other. 6 minutes, 42 seconds left to go in this first period. Getting it tipped now, resetting is Horton. Horton surveying the floor. Now slowing down back on the far side and wing is Alexander. Kick to the far side is Dagley. Dagley trying to get it down low, but a foul is going to be called under the basket. Loose ball foul. Charge to Jenkins. That'll be the senior's first, team first of the quarter. So the question is, it's a quick three for Giles. That's Dagley, the dagger from downtown. So with that, Coach, are you surprised to see what we know is a pretty fast Tenaha team slowing things down against Neches in the early going as a quick two is knocked down by Hines to respond?
Well, I think they're trying to set the offense, trying to get the offense going first, and then they're going to open the floor in the second half.
2-3 zone being implemented by Neches. Has a great cut and a find to Cadence Cox for two.
That Cadence Cox, she just looks like an athlete. I watched her in pregame. She's stout.
The senior forward getting her first basket of the game. Great down screen, even better pass. And it's good.
That's knowing your teammate, knowing where your teammate's going to be at the same time. Great pass.
That's great offense. Fantastic offense. Half the down screen and another layup on the other end. And Tenaha's running early. Giles with yet another three. Her second three ball of the game. She's on fire from downtown.
Yep.
With it is Dagley. Dagley looking. Skip pass over to Hines. Hines with 5:14 left to go in the first period.
Tenaha's moved to a man-to-man. They wasn't in zone early. Moved to man-to-man.
That's one thing. Glad you pointed that out, Coach. That's a quick three. Might have been deflected, but it's nylon for Hines for three.
And Tenaha coach was all over Miss Cox out there to make sure she got out there. She didn't.
Hand down, man down, as they say. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Tenaha possession. Can't say Lady Tigers because both teams are Lady Tigers.
Well, that way we don't mess it up, though.
Ball is heading right for us. It's stolen and saved. Right hands by Hines. Hines a leeway pass. It's good for two on the break. Finish up by Jenkins.
Now Neches has moved into a little bit of a full court press here. Man-to-man full court. Coming up with a trap.
Yeah, we've seen him. This could possibly form into a 2-2-1 and going coast to coast. Right down Highway 69 is going to be Alexander for two more. We're knotted up at 11 with 4.5 left to go. At first, it seemed like Tenaha was going to control things with the pace, but now it seems that Neches is keeping up stride for stride with them.
Neches is doing a lot of backdoor cuts, if you've noticed that. The backdoor
cut's been there pretty much all game, Coach. Reach foul is going to be charged against Neches Morgan. That'll be her first, team second of the quarter. And yeah, I mean, if you're going to go against a team that you know could possibly be faster, down screens will be your best friend. Moving without the basketball is going to be your best friend. And Tenaha has done that to a T in the early going in this first quarter.
Tenaha getting ready to sub into platoon here. Coming up, 5 girls coming in.
Platoon swap. First one we've seen of the game. With it is Cox. Cox, sidestep, fires for 3. Side iron, in and out, no good. Rebound is brought down by Giles. Giles on the reset.
She just has a pretty shot. Cox just has a pretty shot.
It's fluid. Right as rain. Speaking of right as rain, Giles, another 3. That's good. Corner pocket from downtown.
They might want to try to guard her on the outside. I don't think she's missed out there yet.
She is 2 for 2 from downtown. Absolute money. On the cross, getting downhill is Kincaid. Kincaid has to get it over to Hines. Hines is guarded by Cox, picks up her dribble. There's the backdoor cut again. The lay-in is good.
You know, the bad thing about Giles, she's just a freshman. So,
man,
she's a freshman.
And has already lighted up here early on in the SEC. What a game so far. This is the very first of 22 we have over the next 3 days. Cox fires for 2. Looks like it might have gotten deflected.
It's deflected.
That's Kincaid. Great pass up to Jenkins. Jenkins swats it. And it's Cox saying no dice as we take another look. We saw the first shot, seemed to be deflected. Now Kincaid getting up the floor. Great leeway pass to Jenkins, but Cox just a little bit faster. Swatted that thing away.
Well, that was never giving up on the play. She never gave up.
Not for a moment. 3:05 left to go in the first. First quarter is brought to you by Spartan Exteriors, your neighborhood roofing company in Texas, providing new and residential commercial roofing installs, repairs, and maintaining roofs that last. And here's something that'll maintain and last. Another backdoor cut and lay-in for Jenkins. I mean, who needs to sit there and run an offense if backdoor cuts are working all day long? Tenaha's help side just hasn't been there.
They've scored 6 points off the back door.
You would think at this one, especially against a Tenaha zone, if it's a 2-3 zone, you have those 3 down low across the block and in the middle, then you wouldn't have someone cutting as constantly as Jenkins has. I mean, she's cut so much, I think I mistook her shoes for a pair of scissors. She's just having her way down there in the paint. 2:36 and counting. New 5 on the floor for Tenaha. Stepping back, thought she was going to go for the dribble handoff as Davis gets stuck. Gets who? It's Jenkins again. Jenkins lays up and is going to head to the line for the first time to shoot 2.
You notice what Jenkins did there. She went left-handed instead of going up right-handed.
That's a great point. I mean, typically we don't see either hand being used. First free throw from Jenkins. Front iron, no good. Lone substitution for Neches. First substitution for the Neches Lady Tigers of the game as Maddie Main will check in. She'll come in exchange for Addison Spaeth. Maddie Main and Maylee Main. One set of many twins, brothers, and sisters that we see on these rosters as a second free throw is good. Here's a challenge for really any of us here. See how many siblings we have on respective teams. We know the Phillips sisters over at Reigns. We have the main sisters here.
Unfortunately, Tenaha had the Kelly sisters, and they're not able to play this weekend. One of them tore ACL, unfortunately, and we talked to the head coach before this game started.
Here's Kincaid. Kincaid gets blown up, but keeps possession. Minute 55 left. Swing to the far side now. Jenkins gets downhill. Kincaid has the Red Sea parted. Great dish. She need even better shot on the short bucket from Morgan.
That's complete unselfish basketball. One extra pass to get the open shot.
More importantly, Coach, that's patience. Just seeing the floor, taking your time, not settling. Why get a good bucket if you can get an even better one?
Just trusting in your offense. Trusting in the offense that you're running.
Far skip pass is deflected. Going the other way with it are the Neches Lady Tigers. With it is Jenkins. Jenkins, great pass to Maddie Main. Main on the kick to Jenkins. She'll fire. That's good. Big time 3. Just talked about that 3-point bomb. And now Tenaha is going to take their first timeout of the contest. It's a 3-ball onslaught for Neches early on. They find themselves up pretty big, 21-14, back in 30. Our coverage of Holiday Hoops on the ASN Family platforms continues next.
Not break a sweat when I take the stairs.
I will not break a sweat when I take the stairs.
I will dunk on the hoop over my garage.
I will dunk on the hoop over my garage.
I will insist it's regulation height even though it's definitely not.
All right, well, insist it's regulation night, even though it's definitely not.
I will be able to open the jar of pickles.
I don't like pickles.
What about kosher dill?
No.
Half sour?
Ooh.
Full sour?
No.
You like cucumbers?
Oh, yeah.
That's a pre-pickle. Let's go. Oh, excellent. One more.
After the Tenaha timeout, they'll have 4 remaining in the rest of this contest. Their first 30-second timeout taken, and Coach, understandably so, trying to stop this onslaught because at one point, Tenaha was up 3, almost up 2 possessions if it weren't for a missed bucket. And as our laptop falls, thankfully it closes shut. We didn't need that laptop anyway.
We'll buy a new one. That's why we need more sponsors to get us new radio. If you're listening out there, you want to sponsor us, come on, we need a new laptop.
Speaking of sponsors, we want to thank Binks Quick Stop. If you forgot your Gatorade back at the school or need a cup of coffee for a long day of basketball, Binks Quick Stop with 4 locations across Deep East Texas, Tenaha, Joaquin, Timpson, and Carthage. Coach, you stopped over at Binks this morning.
I was going to say, I stopped there. They got me a couple of the, they had some, I wouldn't say they wouldn't, kolaches. They were bigger than that. They were so good, though. Both of them. I was going to bring you one, but I was like, no, he don't need one. I was going to eat both of them.
I'll certainly be stopping by
Another great
throughout this
pass
weekend. Yep, Addison Spaeth, her first bucket of the game.
You know, I talked to you about it at the break. Neches has got shirts that say unfinished business. You know, the state tournament last year, state finals last year, they didn't come up short, but they're not playing like a 5-4 team right now.
Not at all. So travel is going to be called with about 28.1 seconds left. With absolute confusion on the face of Angel Alexander as the starting unit's back onto the court for the maroon and white. One thing to note, it may be beautiful inside, but outside it's rocking. There was a tornado watch announced earlier that'll go for the rest of the evening. And a short 3 there by Hines. Great rebound by Cox, and a one-hand tip by Kincaid. 2-on-1 break. Pass is made. Cox almost got another block and said it's a follow-up.
I think she did. I think she tipped it again.
Could really tell from this angle. It's a 2-on-1 break again, this time for Tenaha. It's eventually bobbled, and that will end the first quarter of play. What a quarter. At one point, Tenaha had this within 2, but Neches has absolutely blown up offensively. Back in 30 seconds, Jared Jones, Matt Bright, and our coverage of Tenaha Holiday Hoops continues after this. Tenaha Neches here to open things up, but we want to remind you to stick around as we have a full 3 days worth of 20-plus games of basketball. Game following this one brought us in Saltillo in the opening round here in the SEC. We played 1 quarter of basketball. Jared Jones, Matt Bright, happy to be with you. Coach, what have you noticed so far, starting with the Tenaha Lady Tigers? Because remember, at one point, they were up almost 2 possessions. Now they find themselves down big in the second.
Tenaha has they tried to run with Neches, and I thought Tenaha would be able to do that. Neches seems to be running quicker and faster than what Tenaha is. Tenaha, we've seen Tenaha out here an hour and a half before the game started. Maybe they're tired. I don't know. Maybe wasted all the shots at pregame.
Yes, here we go. Neches will begin quarter number 2, going from right to left if you're listening on ASN Radio.
It's far from over. I don't think Tenaha is going to be.
No, they're not out of the woods yet. No. Especially if you have arguably the best player on the floor in Cadence Cox. She's been stellar in this game. A couple of buckets, 1 basket, 2 blocks. We think 2 blocks.
At least 3 rebounds already. Another one right there. She just caused another foul.
That last foul, loose ball on Aubrey Kincaid. That's her second personal. First on the team this quarter. 20 seconds have elapsed in this second period. Stolen by Kincaid. Kincaid gets back tip. Stolen away by Alexander. That's her second steal of the game. It's an uneven 2-on-2 break. Euro step layup, no good. Looks like Spaeth wanted to take a charge. It goes out of bounds. And it's going to be Neches basketball with 7.5 left to go. No, it's going to be Tenaha basketball under their own bucket with 7.5 left to go. High arcing pass to Alexander. Alexander takes the ball screen. Now resets. driving. Alexander has a leg. Counted on the foul.
She's very aggressive to the floor. She wants to go to the basket. She don't want the outside shot.
I mean, get to the line. Let them know you're going to be aggressive, that you're not afraid to get downhill and get yourself a bucket.
Well, that's the thing is that Tenaha, they may have to get Neches in foul trouble. You know, you look at the bench. Neches doesn't have a lot on the bench. They don't have a lot of depth.
Not much. And Tenaha, we just saw them early in the first quarter, Coach, a platoon swap.
Yep. And they got 3 girls not even here.
23-16. Quick quarter three. There it is again. It's Hines. Hines has been cashed from downtown.
Neches has missed 1 3 out of 5. They're 4 for 5 from the 3-point line.
Geez.
But you can't block on the outside because they do it in the back door.
Yeah,
so,
they've cut, and they've shown that they're fantastic off the ball all day long. So you're really stuck between a rock and a hard place defensively to try to game plan.
They're showing why they was in the Final Four. There's another 3 ball there.
And it's no good by Jenkins. That's her first missed 3. Prior to this, she was 1 for 1. That's only her second 3 of the game.
I need to apologize to Jenkins after the quarter. I jinxed her.
That's a 3 fires for 3. How about that? She responds.
If she gets hot, Tenaha can come back quick.
We saw her get hot against Timpson not too long ago. Prior to this tournament, she was absolutely stellar against the county rival Bears. Just about a 10-minute drive away. Slight pass is deflected to Jenkins. However, she maintains possession. 6:03 left to go. 26-19 our score in the second quarter. Looking, now engaging her dribble is Hines. Hines turns to Morgan now. Morgan to Jenkins. Full spin, lay-in is going to draw the foul. That one's going to be charged against Alexander. Yep, indeed it is. First of the quarter. First personal foul. Two subs coming in for Neches, the only 2 subs that they have, but kudos to them. They played patient, they've shot the ball well, and handled that depth pretty well, too, as Jenkins knocks down the first shot. Vijaya Johnson will be checking in for the first time. 5:46 left to go in the first. In a game that...
Well, Hines has hit 2 of the 3s already, but if you noticed, Tenaha has now moved and they put Cox on her. Possibly the best player that Tenaha has is now guarding the best player that Neches has.
Understandably so. Why wouldn't you? Here's Dagley. Her head coach behind her, Darvin Peterson, barking orders from the Lady Tiger bench. Whether it is Cox. Great pass on the reset. Give more room now. Alexander, 1 dribble. Gets downhill, pull-up jumper. Back iron, no good. Cleans up her own mess. However, gets stolen away by Maine, and a loose ball foul is going to be called by the backside official. As we look to see who's going to be on, that's Alexander. 2 quick ones on her. Her second, team second of the quarter.
That's not good because Alexander's her point guard, and she's the playmaker. She gets the ball inside, kicks it out to Cox, and gets the ball inside to Cox.
5 minutes, 20 seconds and counting. In the first half of the first game of the over 20 in our coverage of Tenaha Holiday Hoops. Quick 3 again, absolutely automatic.
See who it was. It was Hines once again. She's 3 for 4 from 3-point lane.
Wow, Hines has been stellar from downtown. Cox gets downhill, great runner. They need this one. Offensive rebound, rises, back iron, no good again. Just snatches the ball away. However, coming over possession is Hines. 4 minutes and 47 seconds left. Neches looking to continue to expand this lead and knock out the host team early. Again. There it is, as Kincaid just couldn't get a handle on it. Open shot for Maine, no good. That's Maylee Maine, that is. Not to be confused with Maddie Maine, who is also on the floor as well. The kick to Cox in the corner. Corner 3, short, no good. We see Coach Peterson ball kick timeout. They had the ball. It was called right before Cox took that corner 3.
I don't know why it wasn't given. I don't know. They didn't hear him. You got 3 referees on the floor. How can you not hear the coach holding timeout?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, my friend. 4 minutes and a couple of ticks.
Selective hearing, maybe.
I don't know. We could hear them. Double subs coming in for Neches momentarily, barring the next dead ball. Kincaid kills her dribble, gets blitzed, trying to get it in and again with 3:50 left to go. Kincaid Hezzy step, cross, rises, and will head to the line to shoot 2 after Dagley draws the foul. That'll be her first, team third of the quarter. And if you're Tenaha, I mean, do you try to speed them up on offense? Because every time you do, it's resulting in open threes.
Yeah, and if you turn the ball over, they're going to push down the floor. Coach, I love Coach Braddock for the Neches over here. He hasn't stopped talking and coaching the whole game. I think he's had several cups of coffee on the way over this morning. I'm kind of jealous. Only had one.
I have to ask him post game.
He reminds me so much of. I mean, growing up in Browns reminds me of God rest his soul, Roger Good and Coach Fred Griffin over there. They just nonstop coaching.
Second shot from Kincaid. Rattles in.
They've only missed one from the charity stripe.
Just a great shooting team. We saw them in warm-ups. They were knocking them down from almost anywhere on the floor. And that's showing here. 3 minutes, 36 seconds in the first half. Cox had to get it out quickly, and she eventually did to prevent the 5-second count. Skip pass is back over, far side to Giles. Giles kicks, long 2 for Dagley. That's good. 100! Stopping the bleeding, at least momentarily, with 3:20 and counting left. And a game that really changed up here in the second quarter, or even late in the first. Another 3, and it's good from Jenkins.
Jerry, they've missed 2. They've missed 2 threes the whole game in the first half.
It seems asinine to think that they're just letting threes go at will. We hear all the time in basketball nowadays, you live by the 3 and die by the 3. Guess what? Only thing dying is wrong with the scorekeeper or the net. Just having the right 3 constantly from this Neches offense. Ball's on the floor. It looks like, don't know if it'll be a loose ball foul. We'll head to the arrow. The arrow was pointing in the direction of the Lady Tigers of Tenaha. Again, both teams are Tigers. We'll try not to.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Me and you both. 2:48 left to go in the second quarter. Tenaha inbound under their own basket. So catch by Giles, however, keeps possession and gets downhill for 2.
One thing I've noticed about Tenaha, they want to try to push the ball up the floor and get the ball to the basket, the high percentage shot. They just pull it. They'll shoot it.
They're shooting almost from Joaquin, and it's worked. I mean, not much you can do about that. As the pass is blitzed by Giles. Giles gets through, and a reach foul is called on the floor. That one, I believe, is going to be on Kincaid, and if it is, that could mean trouble, Coach. And yes, it is. That is against Aubrey Kincaid. That's her third. Uh-oh.
Aubrey Kincaid.
At least by Art. Yep, it is her third. Things are going to get interesting as she checks out. Well, you talked about the foul trouble that Alexander for Tenaha was in as a ball handler. How about Kincaid? She's been the main facilitator for this Neches offense, and she has to sit down for a pretty good while with 2:16 left to go in the first half. As Scott steps back out the window.
The bank was open early.
How about that? Holidays are over. The bank's still open, folks. Now it's a 10-point Tenaha deficit.
And that was an NBA 3.
I mean, there's a shot clock here, no college line, but that easily would have been a college 3 as Jenkins can't get the shooter's roll. Cox on the rebound. Head of steam, gets it up the floor to Dagley. Dagley, sky pass, great pass. Head fake, dribble drive down one of the open floors. Horton back iron. Can't get it, however, will head to the line to shoot 2. That foul is going to be charged against Celie Hines. That's her first.
I've noticed in the first game so far, the refs are doing a great job, but they're calling it really tight.
Oh, yeah.
Really tight.
They're calling it like a championship game. We're just in the first round.
Well, we talked about it being, basically these teams that's here this weekend, every one of them could be at the state championship. So they're calling it like they're in Austin already.
Call it like you see it. I mean, I like it. I think it's good for this game, good for the event. That's credibility. Second free throw, no good. An empty trip to the line is not what you need, especially trying to chop down this tree that has been the Neches offense. Jared Jones, Matt Bright, happy to have you aboard. Game 1 of over 20 in our coverage of Tenaha Holiday Hoops, and Neches somehow keeps possession. There she is again for a 3. Hines from downtown. Good God, America. She's letting them fly at will. Cox looking to respond, high arcing. That's good.
I'm going to tell you what. I would love to see one-on-one. Here we go. That's what we want right here. One-on-one. Cox against Hines.
Arguably the two best players on the floor. Hines, half spin. Cox stops the ball, makes her pick up her dribble. Kick on the outside to Jenkins. 55 seconds left. Jenkins, hop step, long two. Nobody home. Offensive rebounds brought down by Addison Space. She goes back up against the two ball.
Oh, she passed it off to Hines coming in. Hines dipped in and passed it off to her.
See, you had a better view on that than I did. I was getting blocked by all the traffic in the middle of the lane. Now, see, Cox getting double team. Interesting to see, especially with that 2-3 zone. High three, back iron, no good.
Well, they just moved to that. They moved to a quick trap on the outside. Once again, here we go, Cox and Hines. 30 seconds left.
Well into the timeline now. It's that cross, and it looks like Neches is going to call time. Try to give her a little bit of extra breathing room, but understandably so. It's been a good one, folks. 21 seconds left. It's 41-29. Jared Jones, Matt Bright, happy to be with you. Back in 30 seconds on the Apple Sports Network.
Get holiday ready sales event with the Ford crew.
Maverick, Ranger.
Another truckload of trucks?
Big event needs big selection. Right, like the Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. Gas, hybrid, electric, and big selection means great deals. Exactly, which means it's the best time to buy. Well said, Sam.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months, plus no payments for up to 90 days and $1,000 bonus cash on a new F-150.
Jared Jones, Matt Bright, happy to be with you. Neches calling a timeout with a 21.38 seconds left. Coach, you said he was drawing something up over there in the huddle?
He's drawing. I've seen him over here drawing something up. I don't think he was putting in his order for Whataburger. He was drawing something up. But I also see Kincaid is back in, and Kincaid's got three. She's got to be smart here with 20 seconds left.
This could possibly be the final possession of the quarter. We know that Neches can both speed things up on offense. We also know they can take their time if they need to. Bounce pass, short corner. Now the reset to Kincaid. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Open three, corner. In and out, no good. 3 seconds on the follow-up. Got it.
Offensive rebounds. We talked about that in several games we've done. Offensive rebounds every single time.
And wow, that's how we head to the half. It's been a tale of two quarters. Tenaha had the advantage early, but now as we take a look at our scoring going into the break, it's been all green and black Lady Tigers. 43-29. We'll take a short break. Coach Brian and I will talk about what we saw in this quarter and more. All that coming up from the ASN family of platforms. You're tuning in to our coverage of Tenaha Holiday Hoops.
If you're an Anytime Fitness member, you now get free access to Apple Fitness Plus. That means you get more. More sets, more reps. More warm-ups, more cool-downs. More Sam.
More movement.
More Jessica.
More balancing.
More Bakari.
More rolling. More rolling. More rolling.
They're not going to stop. With the thousands of workouts on Apple Fitness Plus, they're going to keep going for as much time as we...
Join Anytime Fitness and get access to Apple Fitness Plus on us.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford crew.
Maverick, Ranger.
Another truckload of trucks?
Big event needs big selection. Right, like the Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. Gas, hybrid, electric, and big selection means great deals. Exactly, which means it's the best time to buy. Well said, Sam.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months, plus no payments for up to 90 days and $1,000 bonus cash on a new F-150.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can guest how you guest. Enjoy free breakfast while you work or play. Take on Miami, Mexico City, Minneapolis, or any Holiday Inn Express destination you choose. Follow a great day with a better night's sleep, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. With Holiday Inn Express, part of IHG Hotels and Resorts, you can guest how you guest.
People say college isn't for everyone, but at Kilgore College, we disagree, because at Kilgore College, we help you find your personal path to success. Here you'll find not only a meaningful career, but one with a great living wage. And at Kilgore College, you can get exceptional training in an exciting and in-demand career, a career that you'll love, taking you from little to no experience to being highly skilled and job market ready. At Kilgore College, we have the training, certification, or degree that's right for you.
Welcome back to the Anytime Fitness Carthage Coach's Corner as we continue. The Don himself, Donna Fallon. Happy to have you with. And happily joining us via the XL4 Carthage hotline is Cisco girls head coach Brett Kirkpatrick. Coach, the time is now. This is about as big as it's going to get in terms of competition. And you've already gotten pretty deep into district. You've already played 2 games in district play, both of them pretty simple wins or handed wins. How has your team looked, at least in the early going in district play? What thoughts do you have about your team? What improvements do you think you need to make ahead of this massive tournament?
Well, we're 3 games in right now in the district, and we've actually got a couple injured during that time, and we're trying to get them well and get them going so that we can compete there at Tenaha. I know it's going to be a great tournament with some really good competition there. We're so excited to go. We're just trying to get well so we can hold our own.
First round you have against Huntington. That game will be right here on the Antler Sports Network. What have you seen from this Huntington squad? What are you looking forward to seeing, and how are you expecting to counter what the Lady Devils throw onto the floor?
Well, I see a really, really good team. Just, the entire field is just, it's a talented bunch of coaches and extremely talented athletes, and it's a lot different for us. The East Texas game is a little different from what we're used to out west, but we're really excited to go down there and give them a try. As far as Huntington goes, they're a pretty good 3A school. It's going to be tough. We're just excited to be there.
Now, Coach, Cisco Lady Lobos not too bad themselves, sitting in a top 5 spot of the recent TABC rankings released on Monday. Talk about your team, yourself, your coaching philosophy. Who is Coach Kirkpatrick, and who are his Lady Lobos?
Well, my Lady Lobos are a bunch of hardworking kids that, they show up every day ready to get after it in practice and can't wait to get to the games and work hard. It's kind of the way Cisco is, the town. We've got a bunch of hardworking kids that really do everything you ask them to do. So as far as a coach, it's easy for me. Just show up and get after them a little bit, and they get right to it. As far as my philosophy, we try to run fast, put a little pressure on people, and have fun doing it. That's about it for us. Just get after it and have fun.
Nice, sweet, and simple. You can't beat that, Coach. Talking about how great this tournament field is, you brought it up a couple of times in this short discussion. How can this tournament help propel your team to greater goals? You made a pretty deep playoff run last year, but what can you take from this tournament to go even farther than you did last season?
Well, the last few years we've made a pretty good run, but we haven't really gotten over the top, to get to the state tournament, and that's our goal, I guess, is to go down there and see, some of the best in the state in a different part of the state, and maybe propel us into a different spot that we haven't been to yet. And that's our goal, is to go down there and see some really good competition right here, during Christmas, right in the middle of district, and maybe, propel us into something special.
Now, Coach, finally, of course, Christmas time, the holiday season, it's a time of good and even sometimes bad. So a double-ended question here. What is your all-time favorite Christmas gift? And you don't have to say any names. Have you ever been given a gift that makes you scratch your head and wonder why they would ever give you something like that as a Christmas present?
Well, man, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Well, let's start with the best gift. What's the best gift you've ever gotten? We can go from there.
I guess that my best gift ever was probably when I was about 8 years old. It was a Nintendo. And I thought that was the greatest thing ever, as every 8-year-old kid did in the 80s. Back in the 1900s, we all thought that was the coolest thing ever. So that's probably it. Hadn't topped it in, 30-plus years, I guess. So as far as the worst gift or the craziest gift, I don't know if I really have one.
So let's talk about that Nintendo. With the original games, did you have Duck Hunt? And if you do you still have the original gun?
No, I don't have the original. But yes, it's Duck Hunt and Mario Brothers. Yeah, every kid's dream.
I mean, you can't beat it. So for this Christmas, what do you hope Santa leaves under the tree for you this holiday?
Hopefully some healthy players so we can go to Tenaha and represent our little area of Eastland County here.
Well, from West Texas all the way to Tenaha, it's a big-time drive. About how long of a drive is that going to be, if you could ballpark it?
Looks like 4.5 hours.
Ooh, good night, nurse. Hopefully on a charter bus, or are you on the Yellow Hound?
No, we've got a charter bus that we're taking.
Hey, at least you're going to be comfortable on that 4+ hour drive. Coach, happy holidays. Thank you so much for taking time to speak with us. Any closing thoughts?
No, sir. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. We can't wait to get out to you.
Back at the half. Wow, what a game this has been. A tale of multiple quarters. As currently on the floor right now, the two teams that will be our next broadcast. Saltillo versus Broadus, and we're already seeing something similar to what we saw from Neches when they were warming up. What is it about that right side of the floor at the left of us, or if you're tuning in on ASN1, to the right side of your screen, that wing, if whoever shoots from there just can't miss. I don't know.
If you're not here and you're able to watch this on live on YouTube, watch the next one for sure. Number 6 against number 7.
You can't beat that. And the first round,
number 6 against number 7.
It sounds ridiculous. I mean, 2 top 10 teams in their respective classifications in the first round. You would think in a tournament, you might see a team, if you're an upper echelon team in a typical tournament, a team that might be either at your level or below, slightly below, but nope, you're going against a top 5 team in the top 10 team in the state. Have fun with that.
Possible preview of the state semifinals.
Maybe so. I mean, who knows? So far, this game has been a preview of that unfinished business, coach, that you mentioned back in the first, dawned upon the Neches head coach, and that head coach being Brian Braddock. In that unfinished business so far for Neches, they've looked like they're a state championship team, and Tenaha has just been trying to claw back into this thing as much as they can.
Well, you can tell they're trying to get back to state. They're trying to get they're 5-4, but they don't play like they're 5-4.
They play like they're 9-0. They're shooting like they're 15-0, or some random NBA team out of Golden State.
No, I don't know who they've played, and what they're played against so far, but
or what's in the water in Neches, Texas. Whatever it is, I'll need a sip. This bottle of water ain't going to cut it compared to whatever they're using to shoot this well. Speaking of Neches, the Lady Tigers of Neches will take possession first. They'll go once again from left to right. In respect to device, pass is stolen away by Alexander. Alexander on the breakaway lay-in is good, and the Tenaha Lady Tigers coming up with a quick bucket to start the first. And here we go.
And they're going straight to man-to-man press. You got Cox on Hines once again. But if you notice what Kincaid did, she had a turnover, but she backed off because she's got 3 fouls.
Yeah, that's one thing to keep in mind as well as Jenkins on the drive. Red extra pass, Spaeth for 2. No good. It looks like she might have taken too long to let that one go.
She had too much time to think about it.
Yeah, just catch and shoot it. Let it fly. Alexander on the drive. Layup is good. That's 2. Back-to-back quick buckets for her. Forward for Tenaha coming out of the break.
Tenaha's looking to run early.
Trying to chop down this lead. With it is Jenkins. Jenkins, one-hand pass to Hines to the top of the key. Guarded by Cox. We played 1 minute. And now it seems the Tenaha fans here, their hometown crowd here, the SEC has come alive. Kincaid runner, no good. Looks like she might have hurt footsteps. Follow away layup is good by Morgan on the retreat.
Offensive rebound. We've done several broadcasts, and every time we talk about the offensive
rebounds. It's like what is it about every time we do a game, offensive rebounds are just the thing. Can we just get 2 offensive rebounding teams, please? As Cox, a great steal to retreat. And yep, great call by the official on the far side. Many folks here wanting an over and back call, but the ball was deflected, so it resets.
Resets everything.
6:24 left to go.
I wish these teams would watch some old footage of Dennis Rodman, how he used to block out, how he used to rebound.
And that one stolen away by Spaeth. With it is Kincaid. Kincaid looks to Coach Braddock on the sideline and gives a laugh at Coach Braddock. Skip pass, gets it right back to him. 6 minutes flat. There it is, wide open, and it's good. Wow.
Maybe that's why she was laughing. She knew what was coming up.
I mean, if it's working, why get away from it? Pass is out of bounds. Intended for Cox. As we take yet another look at that backdoor cut. And it looks like it's going to be a timeout that's going to be called by Tenaha. We'll keep it here. And we see that down screen. Taking a look at it was a middle screen set by Jenkins, wide open on the lay-in. And Coach, as we keep saying it all game long, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
No, and that's the thing is that it's weird because you would think that Tenaha would be able to recognize the play because every time they've done the back door, they went to the left side of the court and they've had 2 screens.
Yep.
They're doing a double screen. I mean, I'm 50 years old and I don't even play basketball, but I knew what's coming.
I thought you still played. You had me fooled.
No. I do pretty good on PlayStation, you know.
Coach Bright on 2K.
I can get. I'm still on 1999. So
NBA Live 99 on the.
Yes.
You still got your PS1?
I do.
You do. Your original PS1.
It's somewhere at I know it's my mom's house somewhere.
Wow. Should ask you to bring it. 5:40 left to go after the Tenaha timeout. And that timeout's going to be called by Neches. We're going to take it this time, though. 30-second timeout. We'll take it with them. Neches trying to hang on after Tenaha showing some signs of life. Back in 30 seconds, this is our coverage of Tenaha Holiday Hoops on the ASN family platforms. After the Neches timeout, Coach, you brought up a very, very strong point during the break about what's changed in this Tenaha defense.
Yeah, they've pushed the pressure up. There's another in the first. That's only the second miss by Hines, but you had Cox flying at her too, so she had to, shoot a little bit sooner. Great job out there by Cox getting the ball down the floor.
47-35, and a travel violation called on Kincaid. A huge turnover against Neches. And I don't know about you, but anyone in this gym can see the tides are slowly but surely changing.
The momentum has definitely gone to the Lady Tigers at Tenaha so far.
Alexander, the drive, it's good! Through a little bit of contact for 2 points.
Oh, another pass turnover.
Turnover again! It's Tenaha basketball! Neches is currently reeling, trying to hang on to this lead with 5:11 left. At one point, they were up 18. Now they're only up 10.
The pressure of the Tenaha defense has really, you can tell, it's got to Neches quick.
Into the corner. Pass. The dribble drive by Giles. Laying, it's good on the right side. We're in single digits, Coach. 5 minutes and counting left to go in the third. Kincaid with 3 fouls. Gets it to the far side corner to Hines. Hines guarded by Cox. Spins, has to get the ball up. With it is Kincaid. Kincaid spins, looking. Ball is deflected. It's out of bounds. Neches basketball. And here we go. We see Coach Braddock urgently trying to keep his team into this game as even he knows the tide has turned.
You got a wet spot on the floor. Looked like Cox came across the floor. I thought she got hurt, but luckily she didn't.
4 minutes and 47 seconds left. We're not even halfway through the third, and this looks like a completely different Tenaha team coming out of the break. I do wonder what Coach Darvin Peterson had to say in that locker room, because it is a completely different ball club, Coach.
Well, you can definitely tell he said something about his defense needs to be more pressure and up in their face more.
High arcing pass to Spade. Spade to Kincaid. Kincaid, the backdoor cut again, and it's good. It's been there all afternoon long, Coach, and it hasn't stopped yet.
I'm trying to remember, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Utah Jazz, when they had Stockton and Malone, they ran the backdoor cut almost every other play.
Yep, with Greg Oystertag at that 5-spot man in the middle. I don't even know if some of our listeners even know who that is. Ball was deflected and stolen by Hines.
They're Googling it right now. Who are they talking about?
Now, one thing to note, Coach, Hines is now guarded by Alexander instead of Cox. Cox is under the basket guarding Jenkins.
But now she just switched off. She just picked up Hines now. I think they're going to go to almost like a box and one.
Quick three, no good. However, offensive rebound is brought down. Spade now to Kincaid at the top of the key. 3:50 left to go in this third quarter. Jenkins catches, spins, is going to get past Cox. That's a pretty difficult defender. Cut by Hines. Hines, no good. Back iron. She can't get it to fall. Ball gets deflected. It's contested. They get it to Cox. Swings over to Alexander now. Alexander in the center of the floor. Slowing it down. Cox, NBA three. That's good.
Wow.
Cadence Cox shoots it from Lugansport. Nails the trifecta. 3:15 left to go. It's only a 7-point game. Neches ain't out of the woods yet. Hines picks up her dribble. Gets it to Kincaid. Saves it. Great pass. Hines. Short two, and it's absolutely stuffed. 3 minutes left. Timeout, Neches, and we'll keep it here. Oh, my goodness.
We told you that this is going to be some amazing basketball. It's quarter to quarter to quarter. I can't even say that. You can almost say minute to minute.
Wow. And our very next broadcast, right here on ASN 1, brought us Saltillo, a top 10 matchup. If you thought this game was good, I hate to put my foot in my own mouth before we even get the ball up in the air, but this is bound to be a good game too.
And we didn't even get to the boys' side yet. We didn't even start the boys' side.
Wow.
I mean, the boys' side is just, it's crazy. You have number 1, Martins Mills, number 2, Lipan. I mean, it's going to be an amazing weekend.
Wow. 3 days, over 20 games of basketball on the ASN family of platforms right here on ASN 1 and over at our friends at KBMM. You can find the full broadcast schedule, scores, brackets, and more online at EtlerSN.com/Holiday Hoops. Powered by Excel Ford, home of the 2025 Explorer, the best in class F-Series of trucks and the legendary Bronco. New and used at Excel Ford in Carthage, official Ford dealer of Holiday Hoops. After the Neches timeout, if you're not watching on ASN 1 and tuning in on ASN Radio, Neches has 2 timeouts left in their back pocket. Tenaha has 3. 2:58 left to go in the third quarter. Here to inbound is Jenkins. Jenkins looking. Head faking to Kincaid. They get it to Hines on the corner. Guarded by Cox. Cox with a finger right there in her face.
Well, think about Neches. They're not going to, I don't think they're going to panic. I think they've been in this situation before. They got some
Euro step layups, no good, and she'll head to the line to shoot 2. See what that foul is on. Foul is going to be called against Jenkins. Jenkins, that's her second.
That's
first of the quarter.
That's big.
Only foul trouble for Tenaha is Angela Alexander, the freshman guard, with 2. Julie Jenkins has 2 for Neches, and Aubrey Kincaid has 3. First free throw. It's good. This and all free throws brought to you by where Coach, you and I are staying later on, just right down the street, Holiday Inn Express in Center. I want to thank them for housing the ASN crew and many other teams that are staying. Second free throw is good. A much needed 2 free throws. Now it's a 2-possession game. Kincaid gets back tip. It's Cadence Cox on the steal. She has a 2-on-1 break. Goes up through contact and a foul. That one's going to be called against Catherine Morgan. Her first, the second of the quarter. Second personal foul. As Cadence Cox will head to the line for the second time. She went 2 for 2 her last trip, Coach.
I mean, with her shooting, that's basically 2 points.
Might as well be. I mean, I don't know. You already have to apologize to one player on the announcer jinx. You have to do it for two?
Well, I do.
Yes, you do. Good job. There you go, Coach.
I'm sorry, Miss Cox. I'm so sorry.
Oh, my word. Second shot, though, is good. So a half apology will work.
Half apology.
49-45. Jared Jones, Matt Bright here in the SEC having a blast. In the corner is Hines. Hines on the reset. Gets it to Morgan. Morgan gets her pass deflected. It's contested. Trying to save it is Alexander. Great hustle. And it's out of bounds. It will be Neches' ball. At least I believe it is. Yes, it will be.
I know it's the holiday season, but what I just seen, I absolutely love it. And that's the sportsmanship. Picked up your opponent.
Love that.
Picked him off the floor.
With it is Hines. Hines getting the play call for Coach Braddock right in front of her.
And you see who's guarding Hines.
Yep, we already know. Here's Kincaid. Has 3 fouls notably. She's guarded by Giles. Spins. Loses possession. Goes back downhill. Drives and will draw the foul. Some fans wanting a travel call. Thankfully, we have the beauty of instant replay to take another look at this thing. As we see Giles in contest. That first one could have possibly been a foul due to extra contact.
Well, Giles is definitely all over him.
First free throw rattles in good by Kincaid. A much-needed free throw to bring things to 5.
Neches just put all the other players back. Just Kincaid shooting only. Of course, I guess you make both of them, you don't need nobody else down there.
51-45 after the Kincaid deuce from the charity strike. 2 minutes remaining in the third. This feels like the fourth quarter. And we still have another 8 minutes of basketball.
And this is the first game?
This is the very first game of the weekend. 3 whole days, over 20 games of action.
Well, if any of the other games, I mean, the rest of the games, the rest of the weekend, you got a lot to
live up to.
Man.
This is a fantastic opener. As Hines comes up with the steal. Gets it to Kincaid. Kincaid will step back. One thing, Kincaid really hasn't been shooting the ball at a high volume. Not to say she's a bad shooter, it's just that everyone else has shot the ball so well. I guess Kincaid hasn't need to, especially when you have this kind of offense on the backdoor cut again for 2.
She may only have 2 points, but she got 8 assists. I mean,
arm on the backdoor cut. Minute 15 left.
What a steal. Great anticipation.
Kincaid, great hands, got the numbers game. Hines guarded by Cox, gets it back to Kincaid. There's the cut, there's the lay-in, there's the finish.
There's 9 assists.
Man. Neches has fended off this Tenaha attack as much as they could, especially in the back half of this third period. Inside of a minute, 49 seconds to go. Hurricane shot, no good from Dagley. And Kincaid will hold it. We've seen that just take 45 seconds to get one possession off. That's a corner 3 from Jenkins. Can't get the shooter's roll. It falls short.
Offensive rebound.
Yep, it's by Hines under the basket. 30 seconds. And a jump ball is going to be called. Possession arrow going in favor of Tenaha. Quick sub here as Maddie Main will check in. Zero now flips. Maybe an offense-defense substitution for both teams, expecting.
Well, I mean, you got 30 seconds left. You've got to get your point guard, your facilitator out. You got to have her for the fourth quarter. She's got 3.
Yeah. Now some of the fans wanting Kincaid to get a technical foul. I mean, she's tired. Take every second you can until you get a delay of game call, and that's when things get kind of murky.
That's 5-yard penalty. You don't need that. Oh, sorry,
17 seconds left. Wrong sport. Lay-in's no good. Loose ball foul is called on the over the back, and that's called against Cox. Thankfully, that's only her first.
Kincaid's come back in on offense. You're right what you said when I go offensive defense because Kincaid's back in now. I had a feeling she'd come back in on the next dead ball. That foul against Cox, I mean, we've seen some a little bit earlier in the game that was a lot more than that. That was kind of tight.
8 seconds, 7 seconds. Hines has it. She's been money from downtown. They kick to Main. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Kincaid needs to get a shot off, and they won't even have a chance.
Great defense.
That's the end of quarter number 3. 8 more minutes remain in what has been an amazing opener. Tenaha not out of it yet. Down 10. Back in 30 seconds from the ASN family and platforms. This is our coverage of Tenaha Holiday Hoops.
Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford crew.
Maverick, Ranger.
Another truckload of trucks?
Big event needs big selection. Right, like the Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. Gas, hybrid, electric, and big selection means great deals. Exactly, which means it's the best time to buy. Well said, Sam.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months plus no payments for up to 90 days and $1,000 bonus cash on a new F-150.
Jared Jones and the coach, Matt Bright. Happy to have you aboard here in Tenaha in our coverage. Game 1 of many of Tenaha Holiday Hoops. This game, I can't say it enough. It's been amazing, and we are just getting started. We still have over almost 20 more games to get through.
The first game of the tournament, and it's a barn burner already.
Don't let the score fool you.
No.
At one point,
Tenaha's not out of it.
No, not at all.
Not out of it.
In that third quarter, Tenaha got up to a quick 8-0 run. At one point in the second quarter, in the early portion of the second quarter, Tenaha was down almost 20. Now they find themselves with 8 more minutes. I feel, even though the margin may be slim, but I feel like the Tenaha Tigers have momentum.
They had the momentum, but keep an eye on Neches on this fourth quarter. As we start the fourth quarter, watch them go into their stall. That's why last year they won so many games like they did, because they went to a stall early.
You go with the sure thing. We've seen it with their offense.
Here it is right here. The stall is what I was talking about.
And a foul is going to be called against Alexander on the whack. That's first of the quarter for Tenaha. Here we go, Coach. That's 3. That's 3 on Alexander. Huge foul.
But you notice they're going to stall on the perimeter. Now, I'm not saying that the backdoor cut's not going to be there, but you see what they're trying to do. They're stalling early.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Get every second you can. Keep the ball out of the hands of this dynamic Tenaha offense, and there it is. That's not even a backdoor cut. That's just great spacing. Yep. Baskets in for 2 from Spade. How will Tenaha respond, Coach?
They've got to shoot the ball quick, in a hurry.
Speaking of quick in a hurry, Dagley is short and no good from downtown out of the corner.
And they've got to attack on defense because Neches is going to slow it down.
Just past 45 seconds elapsed here in the final frame. As well as deflected, they're going to say last touch was by Jenkins. Great job blitzing at Alexander. One thing to know, Coach, she's a freshman.
She's a freshman.
And playing spectacular basketball on both ends of the floor.
And that was very, very aggressive on her, having 3 fouls and doing that.
With it is Alexander, the previously aforementioned freshman. Kicks to the far side corner now to Horton. For another skip. Down under the basket now. Alexander, runner, baby hook. She can't get it to go. Rebound by Hines. 6:50 left in the fourth.
Coaches want to press, and they're not pressing.
I mean, you have to admit, after that huge burst of offense in that third quarter, you would have to assume that the Tenaha offense may be a bit tired. That's a cut. This time, Tenaha's prepared for it, though. You see the double team and turning into a turnover. With it is Alexander. One-on-one break. Gets through the contact. High layup, no good. Cox tried to come down with the board. Instead, it's Hines again. We see Hines has been money from downtown, but her in transition, her ability to rebound the ball, even against this Tenaha speed, and get possession back to her team, that's a very valuable asset that I don't think many may pay attention to.
No, she's almost like a post player or a power forward, but she can also run the floor and bring the ball to the court.
Very versatile.
But here's the thing. Do you really have actual true power forward, true post players anymore in high school basketball? Everybody can bring the ball to the floor.
You have to.
Oh,
and a travel violation is called. Huge turnover by Spaeth. The junior gets whacked.
And she knew it when she did it too.
Yep, we saw the chuckle and the head drop. 6:04 left to go in the fourth. As Alexander again. Pass gets tipped.
Such great
anticipation. She has been absolutely
another rebound
fantastic in the passing lanes. Speaking of Kincaid, she's on the drive. Gets it swatted again.
That's Cox's 4th block of the game.
She's been blocked more than your high school ex-girlfriend. Good night, nurse. 5:44 left to go. Just denied. Swatted away. Rejected. No, nada, no, sir. I'm out of synonyms. They get it on. Great head fake. However, couldn't get it. Kincaid on the pinwheel screens. Got it for 2.
She finally took a shot.
Wow.
Instead of dishing it off.
I'm trying to think. I think that's her first, not even her first basket, but her first shot attempt of the game. And she's still been one of the most pivotal players on the floor.
Absolutely. Defensively, and they missed a wide open girl underneath the basket there.
Yep, that backdoor cut, and instead they try to skip it over to Dagley, but it gets stolen. A huge possession here as we knock on the door. 5 minutes.
Now they're going to for sure they're going to the stall. They're up by 14.
Take your time. Take every second that you can. The shot clock may be turned on, but it ain't rolling. That kick to Hines, but Cox snuffs it out. Right in front of the Lady Lions is Altillo, who will be coming up next to take on the Lady Bulldogs of Broadus.
Well, Cox had to do that because Hines is wide open from behind the three-point line, and we know what she can do behind 3-point.
I think she's a pretty good three-point shooter. What do you say?
She's all right.
She's not that bad. No. Not too bad. Not too shabby. 59-45 our score. That foul is going to be called against Cox. That's the senior forward's second. So this is where things get interesting. That's 2 fouls on Cox. Dagley has 1. Alexander has 3. For Neches, Kincaid has 3. Morgan has 2. That's a pass intended for Jenkins. She gets tripped up, however, still keeps possession. 4:40 left to go in a possession that has taken about a minute and a half of the game time.
Jenkins is hurting. She's hurting somehow. She looks like she's holding her hamstring.
Great job by Kincaid. Yep, Kincaid on the tape. And that will result in another timeout for Tenaha. We'll keep it here as Neches has slowly but surely just attempted to punch every remaining bit of life out of this Tenaha team. A team in Tenaha that in the third quarter, Coach, as I mentioned, went on an 8-2 run to start.
Yeah. But like I told you earlier, Neches will not panic. They've been in this situation before. They've been in the state tournament. They was there last year. They're
battle tested.
They're battle tested, but I also think too is that their experience has helped them get through this game.
Yep. I mean, when you have that state championship pedigree, when you've been to San Antonio, been through the regional tournament, playing that 7:30 p.m. game just to come back and play the 10 a.m.,
yes.
That is experience that, to me, somehow, some way makes the regional tournament in the old ways just as hard as the state tournament.
Absolutely.
That turnaround, that mentality shift, that waking up and having to go to the gym 10 minutes down the road, it separates the good from the great, to say the least. And I hate that we might not see that anymore. But I'll get off my soapbox now.
Yeah, but it's a good soapbox to be on because I agree with you completely because to me you're taking away from the game. You're taking away, okay, who's the better team? Are you conditioned enough to be able to do that?
Yep, that turnaround definitely shows who ran during the spring and the summer.
Yes.
You know, they say you got to run the ring in the spring, the ball in the fall.
You know, everybody says that, you know, the games are won in the fourth quarter. Are you tired in the fourth quarter? Are you playing ball? Or are you just, you know, saying, okay, well, we're halfway here.
Let's see who wins this fourth quarter. So far, it's been the Neches Lady Tigers who have held control. After a third quarter that was controlled by Tenaha. 4:19 and rolling. Cox has it, taking their time. Instead, we'll pull up a long 3, side iron, no good. And you hate to say this, Coach, but that is definitely a waste of possession. Yes. Not what you want to do.
No, she's too far out there. I don't expect what she's doing. She's trying to lead her team. She's definitely the leader on the team. But
as Cox with another block, and this time she saves it. And I don't know. You saw how she came down on that right ankle. You saw the quick wince to the face. And a shooting foul is going to be called against Morgan. That's her third.
And she's limping now.
Yep, we saw that wince. After that block came down with the rebound, a look of pure, at least temporary agony as she came down on that right ankle. As we see her gingerly stepping on it now as she heads to the charity stripe.
You know, I mean, I know I'm old, but what happened to the everybody used to wear the high top to protect the ankles. Now everybody's wearing a low top, like, you know, sneakers like you run on.
I'll tell you this. in my freshman year of high school, at Chapel Hill High School near Tyler, his second free throw is no good. I had the 2011 Nike Hyper Dunks. They came well above my ankle. They were the best shoes I have ever worn to play basketball in my 2 decades plus of life. I have to admit, they're comfortable. I like high top basketball shoes, but some players don't.
I mean, I don't get it. Protect your ankle as much as you can.
Marcaria Davis, who just checked in, gets her first foul. That's foul number 3 on the team this quarter. Kincaid at the line for the first time. First free throw is missed. As Cox will checking in for the first time is Haley Hendricks, the junior forward.
Kincaid needs a break. She just told Coach she needs a break.
Understandably so. I mean, she's had a whale of a game. Free throw, you see why there. I mean, just not able to muster enough strength as she checks out.
Something's not right, though. You can look at it, tell something's not right. You can see she's hurting on the ankles. Look like
she's hurting.
If the score holds up here, just depending on what's going to happen, what's going on right now in Timpson at the gym there between Raines and Timpson itself, that could be a great matchup tomorrow at Panola College between Raines and Neches.
I would pay extra money to move that game here to the SEC.
That's that because we've seen Raines a couple times
firsthand.
Yes, and Jazzy and her, I can't remember what the last name is.
Jazzy and JC Phillips.
And Jazzy Phillips. Them two girls control the court.
They have guard play. They have forward play. They have the fries, the drink with cheese and bacon to add to your burger. They have it all.
And they're young. They start 2 seniors the entire. Well, 1 senior, and that's Jazzy. She's the only one that starts.
Yep. Everyone on that, I believe, 9-person roster, as a foul is going to get called against Kendallin Bell. That's the sophomore's first. 4th of the quarter, so 1 more foul will send Neches to the line the rest of the way. Everyone on that team, out of the 9-man roster, only 1 wasn't in that state tournament.
Yep.
So that is the definition of experience. We talked about how Neches has that state championship experience, knowing how to get through deep playoff runs. Raines has that same thing in their back pocket, and that's arguably as valuable as points and rebounds.
Absolutely.
Another foul, this time called against Haley Hendricks. That's foul number 5 on the team this quarter. So that will send them to the line and put Neches in the bonus.
If anybody's wondering out there listening, yes, Raines is ranked in the top 25 in the state as well. In Class C, Class 3A, they're ranked number 12.
As right now, look at our score. 4 minutes and 58 seconds left in the fourth. Raines absolutely dominating Timpson, 44-27 in Timpson, right down the street in the home of the Bears. So it looks like, as that free throw is no good.
So at Panola tomorrow, you're looking at 12:30 ball game. At 11 o'clock, you're looking at Raines and Neches.
Wow.
2 teams that was at the state tournament last year.
Wow. Holiday hoops. You can't beat it, folks.
No.
2:50 left in the final frame here. Trying to get it down low under the basket to Bell, and Bell will draw the loose ball foul on the floor. That'll be foul number 2 on the quarter for Neches. Foul is charged to Addison Spaeth. Thankfully, that's only Spaeth's first. Inbounds pass is to Alexander. Alexander, runner, baby hook, no good. Rebound is corralled, though, by Tenaha. That's Jaya Johnson to show ahead of the line to shoot 2. Yep, that's on Hines. Yep, indeed it is. That's only her second. 2 quick fouls at the quarter.
Well, one thing about Neches, they definitely spread their fouls out. They don't have one person, that's getting all the fouls. They're just spreading them out.
Pass the peas, as they used to.
Share the wealth.
The wealth of foul debt.
Best of fouls.
Second free throw, no good. On the empty trip. They get it to Jenkins. And Kincaid is now coming back to the bench after getting tended to by Tenaha district personnel.
Definitely looking at that ankle. And we just hope she's able to go tomorrow, which I'm sure she will be.
They're going to need her.
Against Raines, yes.
They're going to need her. They're going to need all hands on deck.
Yes, they're going to need her, and she has 2 or 3 cousins named Kincaid, they're going to need them as well.
I mean,
there was some Kincaids that lived in Troop when I was in school.
Yeah.
I know that was, a long time ago, but those boys at Kincaids could play.
Oh,
football,
yeah. Every sport.
Yes, football, baseball, basketball.
As it looks like a timeout is going to be called by Neches to try to slow things down, and we'll take it with them. 30-second timeout, 2:09 left to go in the final period. Neches up big, 61-45. Our coverage of Tenaha Holiday Hoops continues after this.
All across East Texas and around the world, former Kilgore College students are working hard for their best life. They're building a brighter future. They're moving in the right direction. They're in powerful positions. And they're superheroes protecting and serving. If you're ready to work for your best life, put Kilgore College to work for you.
Back here in Tenaha.
Some coffee.
Jared Jones, Matt Bright, happy to be with you. Early start for us, at least. And a game that has woken up a lot of people, at least in the early going. But so far, Coach, it seems momentum is back handedly in the hands of the Neches Tigers. Or I guess you could say in the claws of the paws of the Neches Tigers.
Well, they definitely slowed things down. And when they slowed it down, Tenaha didn't know how to react. And you notice Tenaha has... we told you a while ago, I told you that, when you said, you pointed out that Cox came down wrong on an ankle. She's not in the game right now. With 2 minutes left, you would think you'd have your best player on the court. She's not there.
Maybe Coach Peterson and company playing the long game. Neches inbound. They get it to Hines. It's tipped. Hines downhill, pass to Jenkins. Jenkins squeezes through traffic. 2 minutes left. Great crossover. Has open space. Rises and will head to the line to shoot. That foul is going to be charged to Hendricks. That'll be the junior's second. Tenaha already past the foul threshold. So Neches will be shooting 2 the remaining minute and 58 seconds.
I mean, no disrespect at all to Coach Braddock, but Coach Braddock looks like he should be an ag teacher instead of a basketball coach, but he has these girls playing basketball. I mean, he doesn't look like a basketball coach to me.
I mean, honestly, you would expect the typical head coach to have the collared shirt.
Right.
The collared shirt, the slacks.
Second
like free throws, no good.
And he probably did drive the bus over, but he said, I'm going to coach the team anyway, so...
That's a good question. You're going to have a chance to speak with him post-game. Maybe ask him, hey, did you drop the bus up here, Coach? Maybe he did, That's the beauty of tournaments like this. The largest schools are Sabine, Tatum, and Mineola, 3-area conference respectively. So you get coaches that drive the bus. You've driven the bus, haven't you?
I have. Yes, at Cumberland, I drove it several times.
Minute and a half left to go in the fourth.
And I rode the short bus. That was a long time ago, though. Neches playing great defense here, even with the minute 12, minute 15 to go.
Still playing ball. Still playing fantastic basketball. They'll move on. As Coach Bright mentioned earlier, tomorrow at 11 o'clock, has the backdoor cut in. Hines counted on the foul.
How many points in the paint from the backdoor cut have we seen today?
Too many. More than I've counted, that's for sure. I lost track at 2. I gave up counting.
And that's another beauty about this tournament is they're playing it in 4 different locations, so you can't really scout somebody.
No.
You can't, unless you have somebody here in the stands watching for you, but you can't really scout. You just have to get on the court and play.
That's really the purest form. I mean, not sitting around getting all the analytics, all the fancy crap. Just get out there and play basketball. Be better.
That's it.
On the drive to the open floor is Davis. Davis gets it swatted. Addison's faith on the deflection. We've seen Cox be the one doing all the swatting and blocking, but
Addison had a look on her face like, I did that? She was surprised that she didn't get called for a foul, maybe.
We'll take another look at that block there. Ball is deflected. Controlling possession is Maine. Maddie Maine, not to be confused with Miley Maine. Behind the back dribble, gets down. Short corner, now handoff to Hines to the corner. Reset now to Maylee Maine. Hines, head fakes. drives, break swing pass, open three, side iron, no good. Strong rebound, offensive rebound, shot again, short, no good. Maybe offensive rebound number 3, nope. Tenaha will take possession back. Here's Davis. Davis crossing the timeline, 17 seconds left. Possibly 1 or 2 more possessions left in this game. And a lay it out of control, no good by Johnson. And it's Hines who will just keep it. 5 seconds, 4, 3, and that will do it. Our final score. And moving on to the second round, Neches with a huge victory, 64-45, surviving a strong third corner from Tenaha. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll try to get with the head coach Brian Braddock and more in the post game. Back after this on the Antler Sports Network.
Get holiday ready sales event with the Ford crew.
Maverick, Ranger.
Another truckload of trucks?
Big event needs big selection. Right, like the Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. Gas, hybrid, electric, and big selection means great deals. Exactly, which means it's the best time to buy. Well said, Sam.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months plus no payments for up to 90 days and $1,000 bonus cash on a new F-150.
Here with us courtside post-game here in the SEC. After taking a dominant 64-45 victory as Neches head coach Brian Braddock. Brian, thanks for joining us. We had a question here from the sideline for you. By any chance, did you drive the bus over here to the gym? You did. See, there you go, Coach. You called it.
That's why I need to know. Coach Braddock, actually, I know that being at the state tournament last year, the experience that you have coming back this year, you think that's key to the girls getting back to state this year?
I think it is. We got moved into Region 3, so our path's a lot harder, and so, you're looking like number 3 in the state right now is Gorman, their second round, and then Newcastle, the winners of state, if we get by Gorman, and so it's going to be tougher, but it is the key. We've had some injuries. We had a girl tear her rotator cuff, so we're down 1 there, and then a girl hurt her knee, so neither one of them are playing, so we got a battle, and then we got a late start. We went to the state volleyball championship, right. So we're only about 50, maybe 35 days in, where everybody else is 70 days in.
Well, for sure. I'm looking at the record 5-4. The girls didn't play like a 5-4 team. They did not play like a 5-4 team. I've seen where Hines looked. She came a little hurt her ankle a little bit. Is she going to be okay?
Yeah, she's going to be all right, I think. And then Aubrey got a little lightheaded there, but I think they're going to be good to go. Good thing there's just 1 today, but you got to give it to Tenaha, man. They battled hard for 4 quarters. They got down 14, and then they'd cut it to 5, and then they'd get down by 11 and cut it back to 5. Man, that goes to coaching. You know what I mean? He's got to be proud of those girls. As coaches, that's all we want them to do is play hard. If they'll play hard, then that's half the battle.
The way it looks is like tomorrow be facing off against Range. Because I know Range in Class 3A, they're number 12 in the state.
Yes.
What's your game plan going against them?
They're going to pressure the whole time, too. It's a little different pressure. They're going to 2-2-1 you kind of, and really rotate it hard. And, we'll have to play really well. But that's what we want. We want to play good teams, and then that finds out my weaknesses, and it finds out the girls' weaknesses, and then we can fix them.
Well, Coach, congratulations on today's win. Good luck the rest of the tournament. Jared?
Nope, that's all.
All right.
Thanks for being with us, and a great win today, Coach.
Yep, I appreciate y'all having me.
Thanks, Coach.
Once again, Neches Lady Tigers head coach Brian Braddock giving us a couple of words after getting a huge win. Final 64-45. That'll do it for game 1. Myself, Coach Matthew Wright, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to try to get us some water, maybe some caffeine, and whatever else we can get your rubber up around here. Game 1 of over 20 is down. 20 more plus games to go.
Is the shrimp ready yet?
I don't know. We're going to try to find out. Thanks for joining us. Once again, our final from the SEC, Neches over Tenaha, 64-45. In a couple of minutes, we'll have Broadus versus Saltillo in our next game. Until then, so long, everybody. Welcome back to the